Hey guys, Monster here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so now we're going to be taking a look at the physical Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the JANEMBA event and see how well we get on here. Now this is a unit that has caused a lot of discussion over the last few days. I did my Easy A tier list yesterday and a lot of people were questioning his placement on that list. I'm going to go for not getting the full 24 key here so we can try and not finish the stage as quickly, and we'll get on to talking about that a little bit here as well. But yeah, Goku is an interesting unit when it comes to events like this, because one of the big things for me about this Goku, and it's what I tried explaining in the tier list yesterday and the initial showcase we did, good work Go Tanks, not getting the damage negation straight away, love to see that. I mean, I mentioned it in the Kid Buu one as well, and I've done these kind of videos before. When I do these JANEMBA videos, I don't even really bother with this. I feel like there's no point bothering with the cutting and everything. We just literally jump straight back in, because this is an event where you can very easily just die straight away on the first turn. Now, interestingly, we do have Goku in slot 7, which is, I think, when it comes to these shorter events, because JANEMBA is a weird event, and I think when it comes to this event in particular, one of the things that is actually very good or works very well for Goku is he needs to be on turn 1 or turn 3, because this event can end up being quite short, and if Goku's on turn 2, it means he can't transform until the earliest on turn 4. So there's a lot of instances, especially with how powerful the Majin Buu Saga team is, that you might not get to see turn 4. And even if you do, like, potentially the enemy's on such low HP that if you do transform into the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he's not a slot 1 unit. So potentially the unit that is going to be in slot 1, especially if it's Go Tanks, is then potentially just going to kill JANEMBA, and then you don't actually get to see Goku do anything. So this is one of those things where it is an event that isn't necessarily the best, like, for him, because of the difficulty with transforming. But him being in slot 7, the good thing about his transformation condition is he has the good turn restriction condition, right, where it's from the start of battle and not from his first appearance. Otherwise, if he was in slot 7, he wouldn't be able to transform until turn, what, like 5 at the earliest, whereas instead he can come in on turn 3 and just get the transformation if you're at 77% or less HP. And the problem is, as we've talked about with this guy multiple times now in the videos that we've done for him, is the HP condition can be very awkward, especially in events like this, which JANEMBA can be very tough, right? JANEMBA can hit like an absolute truck, and on some units on the team, like, let's take this Goku, for example, the Angel Goku. He's either going to dodge the super and take nothing, or eat the super and die. And then depending on how many times JANEMBA's been hit by normal attacks during the turn and obviously builds up, he might even die to his normal attacks as well. I don't know why I said this Int Goku, because that was the AGL Goku's intro. But the Int Goku who is on the rotation, and annoyingly is going to have to dodge a bunch of attacks here, otherwise we are going to get killed. But this is what I mean, like, he can't take any hits on the turn. Like, if he takes a hit, it won't drop us to 77% or less HP, we will just die. And that can be one of the big problems with the transformation condition for Goku, because 77% doesn't seem like a crazy amount, but for this event in particular, it's going to be tough, right? Like in stages like Goku and Frieza, where even one of your non-specific, like, tanks can take a super from, let's say, the first phase, like Gohan and Frieza, and they might take a big chunk of damage, but you're not going to die. And then you can straight away get into the turn with Goku and have him transform. Whereas with JANEMBA, he does so much damage with his super attack that units that aren't really able to tank it are usually just getting killed. And then obviously, it's dangerous to bring in units anyway. I could potentially switch out this Goku here, obviously if he does get us killed. But this is the event, or kind of event, I think is not very well suited to the Goku. Now obviously, he is still good in his base. Like, I say base, obviously it's like Super Saiyan 2, but the base form of the card. He is still good in his base. He's got solid defense after supering. He has guard if you're above the HP condition. But yeah, look at that. Int Goku taking 1,000,000 damage from a normal. And this is one of those things with the JANEMBA event that I find It's why I don't use this event really when I talk about, like, when I do my tier list. Like, I will mention a unit's performance in this event, like, sometimes, but it's not something that I use to really decide, like, how I want to rate units and stuff, because the unit themselves can be really good. I remember when I did the video for Bojack versus JANEMBA, and I don't know how long exactly that video was, but I can't remember if we did get a run where we did actually win. And the thing is, like, Bojack himself, he did really well during that run. Like, he looks good in this event, which, I mean, he has type advantage, so that obviously helps when it comes to tanking and stuff, but he looks really good in the event. It was the other units on the team that were, you know, it would be like the only unit that can't really eat a super is the one that gets supered, that kind of bad RNG. And that's the thing, especially for Goku when it comes to the Majin Buu Saga team. The team itself is so good, it's kind of like the opposite, right? You could potentially quite easily steamroll this event without Goku really getting a chance to do a huge amount. And obviously in this run, he started on the second turn again. So the chances of us getting to turn 4, we'll see how that goes. I mean, we've done a couple of health bars already. Goku not dodging that attack is helpful to us, but it's not enough damage. And obviously, as we know, if the Angel Goku doesn't dodge, then he just dies. So, and there's the dodge. Can anyone on this turn? Well, this is the turn where we're going to have the physical Goku. I should have turned the animations off, really. But yeah, physical Goku. I mean, we can see his performance in his Super Saiyan 2 form. Because this is the big thing that, like, discussion from the tier list that I made yesterday is people big mad about Vegeta, Tech Vegeta being higher than this guy. And as I explained in that video, right, it's my personal experience with Vegeta transforming more consistently. But, like, this guy is good in base. And if you're comparing just the two base units, like this physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku and the Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Goku's definitely better. But because for me, I've had Goku Vegeta transform more consistently, Majin Vegeta is better than Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And so if you constantly have difficulties transforming with Goku, then, you know, this is where my argument came from in my tier list, right? It's entirely based on my own experience. I will value consistency more than, you know, 1 time out of 10 when I use Goku, he's the best TUR in the game by far, because he's transforming into Super Saiyan 3 and doing like 40 million plus attack stats. Like, that's all well and good when that run actually happens, right? But for me, more often than not, consistently with these runs since his EZA dropped, I have not been able to get him to transform. So I mean, you can see here in Super Saiyan 2, he's still good. Like 14 million attack stats, that's nothing like super crazy, but he has guard, he has very high defense after supering. I wonder how much damage he actually takes from Janemba's super here. 714k, so I mean that still kills us from basically full health. I think we have just enough HP to survive that if we are at full, but I think we'd lost a little bit just before that. And the thing is as well, like, again, Vegeta, I was never trying to compare like their base forms, right? Like Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta in base dies to that super attack as well. But yeah, it's just something that doesn't really lend itself well to this kind of event. I'll try and quit out again. We really want to try and get a rotation set up where he's on turn 1 or turn 3. But I think really when it comes to this event, like, you probably have to resign yourself to the fact that he's not the best choice for this stage, because you're not as likely to get to see the transformation. Yeah, he is on turn 1 here. So, but this is again, like, we can do things like not try and get the crits for Gotenks. I still didn't turn them off, did I? Not try and get the crits for Gotenks so that it slows us down a little bit. But this is the discussion that I was trying to get into in the tier list video, that I feel like if you're like, someone described it in the comments as like throwing, right? It's like if you're making less optimal choices because you're trying to force the situation where he's going to transform, like, just use a different unit on the team instead where you don't have to do that. Now, certain events, it is going to be a lot easier to get his transformation than others, for sure. But, like, in this event in particular, I mean, I probably wouldn't bring the Angel Goku, who's on rotation here, so he'd probably be the one I'd throw off the team first. But, like, for example, STR Family Kamehameha Gohan is on the Buu Saga team. I would probably rather bring him than the physical Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku if we're not going to get to see... I keep saying Angel, but the physical one isn't an Angel Goku, is he's just Super Saiyan 2 Goku. If he's consistently not going to transform into Super Saiyan 3 in this event, then yeah, I would bring a unit like the Family Kamehameha Gohan instead. And there's a couple of options. Buu Saga has obviously received some massive buffs. For JANEMBA, it's a bit tricky because some of the units that can be quite good, like this Int Goku can be good, and then there's like Int Super Easy A Ultimate Gohan. But obviously with them having type disadvantage, I guess Gohan's not in as bad of a spot because he has guard. But since you're going to be running him as like a slot 3 floating unit, he doesn't necessarily build up a huge amount in the first turn, and then JANEMBA's going to have been hit like 5 times by then. Because JANEMBA, once he's been hit like the 5 times, his normal attacks do like 1.2 million damage. So even his normals are absolutely devastating for like Int units. But yeah, I mean, really we need, for this turn to play out so that Goku can transform, we basically need Dragon Fist Goku to get hit by like 2 of these normals basically. Or all 3, because I think he doesn't quite take enough that he would die if we would die if we took 3. Obviously, if Dragon Fist Goku gets super attacked by JANEMBA, we'll die. If Gotenks gets super attacked and doesn't get his extra 777% defense proc, I think post super he lives with all his start of like for the first couple of turns extra damage reduction and stuff. I think he potentially lives it without the extra 777. But obviously then that means we would be on super low health, and then we'd need Dragon Fist Goku to get the dodges. So let's see how this plays out here. Can we get the transformation? And this is the thing, like when I was trying to make the explanations in the tier list and in like the follow-up tweet where I posted the list, is someone was talking about, yeah, he didn't get it, 300k. Someone was talking about like HP management, right? And the thing is, when it comes to HP management and talking about the transformation conditions for Goku and that Tech Vegeta, I think it's easier sometimes to manage the HP of the enemy by planning out the rotations, floating someone off at a certain point, right? So that, like, for example, Vegeta is going to come on rotation at the start of a new phase and then get the transformation. Whereas trying to manage your own HP, unless you have a scouter effect in play at all times, like, how can you do that? And even on this turn, right, if we knew that that super attack was there against Gotenks after he attacked in slot 1, I would have still put Gotenks there because he would tank the best on this turn, right? Dragon Fist Goku in slot 1 only has a 50% chance to dodge, and would obviously die to the super. So we would have put Gotenks there, which is what happened. He didn't get the extra proc. We took 300k, right? But it's one of those things where it's difficult to plan that if you don't know like where the supers are going to be, right? Now, obviously, when it comes to managing the enemy's HP, it's still down to RNG, right? Characters can get extra additional supers, get crits or not get crits, and then your estimated amount of damage for the turn can be different from what then actually happens, and then you get stuck where Vegeta comes on rotation when the enemy has, like, you know, 1 HP, and then that can be very awkward for sure. But I think that on a lot of occasions and in certain events, it's definitely easier to manage your own HP in certain situations. Now, the problem we have here, I'm probably just going to heal, because Goku, I'm not sure how well he's going to tank in slot 1, and we just want Super Saiyan 3 Goku to actually get the chance to attack. But hey, we managed to get him to transform, so that is definitely good. It took us a few attempts to get to this turn. And again, like with the amount of damage that we've done, if he was on turn 2, so wasn't coming back with the potential to transform until turn 4, there's the chance that we wouldn't even get the opportunity to actually see him transform, because we probably will kill him this turn. And of course, this is my other complaint with this Goku, is once we've jumped through these hoops, now we've gotten to a run where we've gotten him to transform. Remember that his attack power and his output potential is all very much related to RNG. Right, in my initial showcase that I did for him, he did a super attack and 2 additional normals 3 turns in a row, which is kind of wild. So we get the first super off here, 32 mil. We don't get the crit, even though he has really good chance to crit for these first few turns. It is 70%, right? So we get the second super, which is good. And we do get the crit. We get an additional normal hidden potential. Normal. So we did 2 supers and 2 normals. I mean, that's not too bad. Post super defense obviously tanks for double-digit damage. And then, of course, the thing is, again, with these kind of events that are as short as they are, especially when you do bring out a big hitter like Goku, like we now just win on this turn, we don't get another turn to see him do anything else. So it's a weird one with this Goku. I think I don't want to spend all this time like talking about the tier list and making arguments for this guy, why he's better or worse than other characters. The point of the video was to see how well he does in the JANEMBA event, but it is one of those events that is not the best suited for him because it is a shorter event. And obviously if you do get to turn 3 and you can't transform straight away, chances are there isn't going to be a turn 5. In his base, like, he's still good against JANEMBA, so it's definitely not like you shouldn't bring him into this event, right? But it is going to be one of those things where you're not always necessarily going to see his full potential, which is why, as I've said before, and you can see from their placements on the tier list, I do think Kid Buu is better than Goku because of the consistency. I think he's better. He's definitely better defensively early on. You know, he hits not quite the same attack stats, especially depending on support, but they're both going to get 1 guaranteed super, then potentially an additional super or an additional normal. Goku obviously has the chance to pop off from there and do a bunch of extra supers, but Buu has the very good defense. So consistently, I think Buu is a bit better, but Goku is still very good. This is the thing, like when trying to defend where I put him on the tier list, defend my criticisms of the unit, I still think he is really good. It's just one of those things. I've always been someone who, I can't call a unit that relies on RNG just hands down like, oh yeah, they're the best unit in the game. Like when AGL UI Goku first came out, there was the group of people that thought he was the best unit in the game, and then people who didn't, people who thought when the worldwide happened later that year, I think that was when we got Namek, Goku and Frieza, and a lot of people thought that they were better than UI. A lot of people stayed on the UI is the best unit in the game train, and it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, he's got 70% chance to dodge, but if he doesn't dodge, then you die, and that's where that meme started from, right, with the UI Goku curse. So I do value consistency a little bit more than RNG, but I think this Goku is very, very good still. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.